Okay. Let's do Philippine history and Philippine studies. Tell the story of ang kaibigan kong si Mabini.
So once there was this boy named Primo. He was going to school with a boy named Mabini. Apolinario Mabini. Mabini was a quiet type of person. He asked Mabini if he had a nickname. Like Puling, like Apo or Puling or anything. Because his name was very hard to say. But he said to Apolinario, but my name, Primo, is short and easy to say. So I don't have really any nicknames. So, but Mabini never actually told him. Now, there was this contest. Well, not really like a contest, like yeah, kind of like a contest in the school, and there was this trophy. If you win it, they really wanted to win it, but they didn't win it, but their classmate did. So they congratulated him, but they really wanted to win. So and one time Mabini actually won, and of course Primo said congratulations to him. Primo said congratulations to him, and he won a trophy. I forgot what the trophy is called because it's hard to say. But for some reason, he kind of dropped out in 5th grade. Now, actually, an adult told Primo that Mabini, it was actually hard for Mabini's parents to get into the school. So, Primo kind of knew why Mabini had to drop out. Maybe his parents couldn't afford it anymore. And so, but they met again. When Primo went to Cavite. Wait, no. Actually, when Primo heard of Mabini again, it was when he was already paralyzed. And he was paralyzed not head to toe. Waist to toe. His upper body was still movable, like his hands, and he was already kind of famous for being the brain of the Katipunan, and they met again in Cavite, where they were celebrating the escape from the Spaniards. When they escaped the Spaniards like got freedom from the Spaniards. And yay, they got freedom from the Spaniards. They were really happy. So they spended it. They kind of like celebrated it in the hometown of the president, Aguinaldo. And and he saw Mabini. He was getting carried because he was already paralyzed. And again another time they met. Actually, Mabini was Aguinaldo's kind of like chief, like the chief of his cabinet and stuff. But some days after that, they kind of got jailed by the Americans that ano, that they trusted. And when Primo was sent to see how the patients are doing, to see if they're sick or not, or it's just a checkup.
Of the patients?
No, of the actually of the jailers. The jailers. The jailers.
The jailers? The jailers are the police officers.
No, I meant the people in jail in the
Okay.
Fort Santiago.
You make it clear because it was not clear in your narration.
Okay, so Primo was supposed to check them up, and when he went to Mabini was still writing even though he was paralyzed. And so he said to Mabini, so that Mabini could remember who he was. He said to Mabini, Primo said to Mabini, "Do you have any nickname? Apo, Pule, Apo, Puling, or anything else?" Then Apolinario Mabini smiled. And of course, he said to Primo, "Well, hello, Primo. It's been a long time since we didn't see each other." And so they chatted. And when it was time for Primo to say goodbye, Mabini on the last minute, he said, "My nickname is Pule." And then Primo looked at him and smiled. The end.
Okay. From the book, The Great Live Series, what do you know so far about Apolinario Mabini? What kind of a child, a boy, what kind of a man, a student he became?
Okay, so when he was a boy, he worked in his father's farm. So that means he is like he likes working, even when he was a child. Also, as a man, he really loved his country. He wanted to protect it from the Spaniards and the Americans. He thought the Americans would actually take over it, but no one would listen to him. So, yeah, but no one would listen to him. He had a brave heart. And at first, I feel like at first he was a peacemaker. I feel like he's a peacemaker because at first, before Jose Rizal died, he wanted peace. But after Jose Rizal died, he couldn't take it anymore. Yung peace, wala na yung peace. When Jose Rizal died, parang ayaw niya na ng peace. Well, gusto pa niya ng peace, but when Jose Rizal died,
Ganito na lang.
the peace ended.
I will rephrase the question.
Oh.
Tell me everything you know about Apolinario Mabini so far from our book, The Great Live Series. Everything
Okay.
that you know, that you remember.
He got paralyzed because he was sick. He kind of became the like the lawyer. Well, not really the lawyer, like the person who made Aguinaldo's being president kind of like appropriate, because he was kind of chosen by him, and he worked at his father's farm, and
Let's
he
do
was
it
a
like
good
this.
student.
Let's do it like this. You narrate everything you know about Apolinario Mabini from when he was a child, a student, until he became a man. You do it from child. Do not jump from one point in his life to another point, okay?
Okay. So he had a poor family when he was a child, and he worked in his father's farm when he was a child. I mentioned that like 3 times already. And he loved his mother when he was a child. He still loved his mother when he was an adult too. And as a student, he was a good student and he was a smart student, but he was kind of quiet. He's not really talkative. And when he was an adult, his mother died and he never really married because his mother was the only woman that he really, really loved. And he got paralyzed because of a sickness. And he got paralyzed because of a sickness, and he really loved his country. He wanted to protect his country. He wanted to protect his country from both the Spaniards and the Americans. But no one would really listen to him when he tried to protect them from the Americans.
How did he show his love for his country?
He showed his love for his country.
How did he work on it?
Kasi
During the time that the Spaniards were here, what was his participation prior to being the brain of the revolution?
He was a secret writer. He was writing secretly to the he was writing secretly to the leader, I think, of the propaganda movement, who was in Spain. He was writing secretly to that man.
What is the propaganda movement ba?
To get the Philippines out of this, to get the Philippines a province of Spain, so that the Filipinos can have a place in the government. Anything else?
No, you continue.
Now, his inspiration to writing was actually Jose Rizal, but when Jose Rizal died, he wanted to follow, like to finish Jose Rizal's job, and he also agreed with Jose Rizal that the pen is mightier than the sword, because with the pen, you can write important things. But with the sword, you're just gonna have war. It's kind of like that. But he believed that, like Jose Rizal. Yeah, that's all I remember.
Okay. What are some of the reasons why the Philippine Revolution failed, according to Apolinario Mabini?
So, it kind of failed because, look, so this is Aguinaldo and this is Bonifacio. So, they kind of had a quarrel, and so Bonifacio got executed in the end. Goodbye, Bonifacio. He got executed in the end, and the Katipuneros, they in that quarrel, the Katipuneros, they kind of got separated. They weren't united anymore. Yeah.
Where in the Philippines do we celebrate the Ati-Atihan Festival?
Aklan.
When?
January.
Why do the Aklanon celebrate
January
Ati-Atihan?
the 3rd of the 3rd Sunday of the month. In January.
Why do they celebrate Ati-Atihan? What was the reason?
At first it wasn't for the Santo Niño. It was kind of like a celebration. It was a celebration because there were people who weren't native to that country that went there because there were problems in their own place, and so so the people of, I think they came from Panay Island. No. So the people, they gave them gifts, and this was a celebration when the people that were not native to that country, I think they also gave them also gifts in exchange. But now it's a celebration for the Santo Niño. Yeah.